Hello, everybody. It's Tarkan back with another video. And I want to wish everyone out there a happy Thanksgiving, because today's Thanksgiving in the United States, maybe in Canada too, and some other places, I don't know. For those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, a happy Thanksgiving. And of course, you should be giving thanks and being appreciative every day. And I think I did a video on that. Maybe I did a video on that last Thanksgiving. I don't remember, because, you know, lots of things have happened since then, the past year. But check that out. If not, I'll do a video on that soon enough. But I want to read you a little email I got from a viewer who has a question for me regarding her confusion between two men. That's a problem a lot of people want. So, here we go. Dear Tarkan, hello from India. Hello. I have a question for you. What do we do when we are confused in between an ex and a new person? You know, as we like to say, that's an abundance kind of problem. Like, what do I do when I have too many options? It sounds to me like you've been doing pretty well in terms of manifesting. I get a lot of people going, how do I get my ex back? And you're like, how do I decide between this guy and that guy? Wow, you've got too many options. You're doing well. I mean, that's the way that I would spin it in my mind. So I know it's funny, she says. I have manifested my same ex three times in the last 1.5 years without having any deeper knowledge of deliberate manifestation. And trust me, I rocked it. Oh, I trust you. And you're rocking it right now, because you've got one of those problems going, I've got options. What do I do? Options. So that's an abundance problem, which isn't a problem at all. So this is the first time that I'm confused about two men. My heart goes to my ex, but logic says new person. Well, this is an interesting, so, you know, I'm pulling your leg a little bit, but there is actually some truth to what I'm saying there, to my little joke about having an abundance problem, okay? And I've said this before in videos, throughout videos I've done in the past, where I talk about, you know, once you really kind of let go, and you let go of it needing to be one specific person, and now, bear with me, you can have your specific person. You can see she did it 3 times, okay? But once you let go of it needing to be them, all right? Once you start loving yourself and focusing on yourself and focusing on your life and having the best time that you can and feeling good as often as you can and really getting into your passions, making your life your masterpiece, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to be just your ex coming back or your specific person that you've wanted for so long. It's going to be all these other people. They're going to come crawling out of the walls like zombies. They're going to be after you, because there's something about a person when they love themselves, when they're on top of their game, when they're confident, when they're loving their life, when they're just happy-go-lucky going through it. There's something about them that people find irresistible, you see. Suddenly you've got options. Suddenly you've got people knocking on your door. Suddenly your dance card is filling up. That's a sign of you doing well, you see. That's a sign. And for someone who's like, hey, you know, I didn't even have any real deeper knowledge of this stuff. You're doing well. Even I assume what you're saying too is that you're actually pretty new to manifesting. Because in the last 1.5 years you didn't have any real deeper knowledge about it. You managed to manifest your ex back 3 times. And then there's this new guy. So you've got options. That tells me right there off the bat that you're actually really doing well and aligning with what it is that you want. Now, as far as that's concerned, okay, as far as what it is you want is concerned, I think that's maybe where you are facing some of this confusion, okay? Because without getting too specific, right, you're going to attract a lot of different kind of people. You know, once you're you feel good about yourself, you build up your confidence, you start loving your life, you start letting go of needing things to be different so much. You start manifesting a lot of cool shit, but, you know, including like people coming out of the woodwork wanting to be with you, wanting to date you, wanting to be your friend, wanting to hire you, all that kind of stuff. But the thing about it is, it's important to have that clarity. It's important to really understand what it is that you're looking for, that you're after. Okay? Now, here's something very telling, because you say that you manifested your ex back 3 times in the last 1.5 years. Now, What happened there? Okay. If you wanted him back all this time and you managed to manifest him back, so then something happened, right? So maybe you broke up again. Then you kind of got him back again. Then you broke up again. Then you manifested him again. I'm assuming that's how it works. That's how it went. You weren't really terribly specific about that, but it doesn't even matter, the specifics. The point is that there's really something lacking in your ex for you right now, that you have moved beyond that situation. You've become so good at manifesting. You've gotten so on top of your game. You started loving yourself so much, and you've built your confidence up so much that you have options now. And so often what happens is when we, and again, I don't want to really, this is going to like, some people freak out. The people who are still kind of on the fence about this, who really still are struggling with this, will freak out about this a little bit, okay? But I want you to bear in mind, there's nothing about what I'm saying that suggests in any way, shape, or form that you won't get your ex back. You can't manifest your ex back, okay? You can. But understand this. If you're in a situation where you see them as the only person for you right now, you're probably even obsessing about them, okay? Then guess what? You're actually operating from a lack mindset, not an abundance mindset. You think you're not good enough even for them, let alone other people. Deep down inside, you don't really feel that way. You feel you're not deserving. You feel that you can't be happy on your own. You feel you can't be complete on your own. You feel you're not lovable enough on your own, or beautiful enough on your own, or sexy enough on your own without them coming in and validating that for you. That's coming from a lackful mindset. When you see that's the only option I have, and when they're gone, when they don't love me anymore, who's going to love me? This is why I stress you need to learn to love yourself and love your life and look at the things in your life that are working. This is where being appreciative and thankful and grateful comes in, right? It's Thanksgiving. Because that trains your mind to look at how things are working in your life, to look at what you already have going on, to see yourself as already abundant, to think in a solution-oriented way and not a problem-oriented way. Now, when you do make the switch, and here's why I say this to you, person writing this, because you have options. Because 3 times you manifested him back in the last year and a half. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but I'm going to take a guess. He just wasn't good enough for you. He's not good enough for you anymore. You love him. That's okay. You've been with him. He's your ex. You love him. You're probably always going to love him. But you have grown beyond that situation. You have expanded beyond that situation. That's what we talk about when we say expansion. That's when we talk about when we say evolving, growing. The challenges of the past are the things that cause you to grow and expand, that cause you to form new desires. Without them, you wouldn't have any new desires. You wouldn't have any clarity. You wouldn't know what it is you want. And once you figure it out, once you really get down to what this is about and how this works, and you understand it's about you, it's about tending to your inner world, not trying to change the outer world, because the outer world is just a reflection of your inner world, inside out, not outside in, right? Alignment first, action second. Then guess what? Once you figure it out, now you've got options, and you go, hey, but am I not supposed to still want the ex back? That's where your confusion is coming in, because part of you seems to think, well, now I've gotten him back, but maybe deep down inside, I don't really want him anymore, or he's not as important to me as he was before. I love him, but look, I've got options now, because I see how powerful I am now. I see how I've grown beyond myself now. I see how I've expanded now. Maybe I can do better. Maybe there's somebody else that's more of a match to me now, to the person I have become. And then this person I still love and wish them well, maybe is not so much a match to that anymore. This happens all the time, and I've said this to you guys in many videos as a little warning. You can have your ex back, and you will have your ex back, but when you get to the point where you do manifest them back, very often people go, well, now I have them back. Do I still want them back? And it's perfectly all right to ask yourself that question, because it's okay to expand. It's okay to grow beyond what you once were and what you once wanted. There's a lot of things I once wanted. You know, there's foods I used to hate that I love now as I got older. Foods that I loved eating when I was a kid that I wouldn't touch now. I mean, you know, we change, we grow. Our tastes change, our preferences change. All right, we change as human beings. And part of, I think, the trouble and the problem that people have with manifesting is that they're afraid of change. They want to hang on to what they know, what's familiar. And so often, especially when it comes to the X, that's what they know. That's what's familiar to them. They're scared of expanding beyond that because they don't know what's on the other side of that. But I'll tell you what's on the other side of that. More abundance, more things, a better match, oftentimes, a better match to who you are now. Change is a good thing. It's a constant. It's what we're here for. Growth is what we're here for. When we stop changing, we turn into stumps. We may as well lay down and die, okay? Don't be so afraid of change. Don't be so afraid to go, hey, I've learned this stuff. It's really, I've got it down now. I can give my ex back. I've manifested my ex back, but maybe they're not the person that I want anymore. And it's perfectly all right to say that. And that doesn't mean that you should ignore them or dump them necessarily or whatever it is. You can still be with them. You can still love them. You can still appreciate them. You can still have them in your life. But maybe you want to go off and try something with this new guy because there's something there for you. There's something calling you there. Okay? If you're confused about it, then what that tells me is you're trying to hang on to an old version of yourself. That's no longer in the picture, really. And you're resisting kind of going into this new version of yourself because this new version, this new person represents the new life that you're manifesting, the new version that you're manifesting. Now, I'm not telling you one way or the other what to do here. I'm not telling you, hey, dump your ex and go with the new guy or the other way around. But I'm trying to help you to understand that so often when we have this kind of confusion, what it comes down to is that we are on the threshold of becoming somebody new. Somebody more powerful, somebody with more options, somebody more self-loving, somebody who's better at manifesting now than they were before. All right, somebody who understands this, somebody who goes, I love myself enough. I don't need anyone to come in and validate me anymore. I don't need just that one person, right? My options have expanded from one guy beyond that to another guy, maybe even many guys. Maybe I want to date around a little bit. Maybe I want to go have fun and go have guys take me out dancing and to dinner and whatnot. And then, when I find a guy who's awesome and amazing, I might go, oh, that's the guy for me. Or you might go, well, maybe the ex was the best after all. But allow yourself right now to explore something new. That would be my advice. I'm not telling you one way or the other, but my advice at this point would be follow this breadcrumb because there's a reason this new guy showed up. Okay? There's a reason that you rendezvoused with him. The universe sets this stuff up. And so often your inner being, that larger part of you, understands a little bit more about what it is that you want and what you're ready for now than your ego monkey self, your identity self, your world self. Okay? Your spiritual self says, hey, listen, kid, you have kind of outgrown that situation maybe a little bit. Maybe that person isn't so much of a match anymore to you right now, to who you've become. Maybe this guy's more of a match. But you get to decide. No one's there telling you what to do. No one's telling you can't have your ex or you can't, you got to go with this new guy or you can't have the new guy and have the ex. Maybe you can have them both. I mean, come on. It's 2020. Even in India, it's 2020. So I think really what it comes down to here for you and anybody else watching this and having a similar situation is that you sit down and you really think about what it is that you want. Why is it you want to date any guy for that matter? Okay, what's your end game? What's ultimately what is it that you're after? Is it marriage? You want to have a family? Do you just want to have fun? You want to just kind of like go out dancing, just kick off your heels and just see what's out there and see what your options are. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But you got to kind of know what it is that you want the most right now, okay? Because clarity, in terms of knowing what you want, it's like the kind of the number one step when it comes to manifesting, right? You'd be surprised how many clients I've gotten and people talking to me who say, help me to manifest better, and then you ask them what they want, they don't really know what they want, okay? So, You know, and also when I say what you want, yes, I'm talking about a specifics, you know, like, okay, I want a guy who looks like this. I want a guy who has that kind of job. I want a guy with, you know, who has this kind of hair, you know, whatever it is. Okay. Those things are important. Write all those things down. Okay. He's got a nice smile. He loves his mother. He loves pets. You know, he loves my little lap dog that poops everywhere, whatever it is. You know, you can write all that down on your list. But beyond that, I want you to think a little bit deeper too. I want you to think a little bit about what state is it that you're after? What does a relationship or dating right now represent for you? Does it represent adventure? Does it represent security and settling down? Right? Because when you understand the feeling state that you're after in any situation, then you can tap into that feeling state very easily and become a match to it, and become a match to all the things and people and circumstances that correspond to that feeling state, you see. So it's important really here to gain some clarity, all right? I would sit down and you know, you can do like 2 columns and you can compare qualities that these 2 guys have, that your ex has and the new guy, and you can go, okay, well, that kind of helps me sort of eliminate or kind of, you know, figure some things out. So I think the number one thing for you right now is clarity. But beyond that too, and like I said before, don't be afraid to go for the new guy if that's what you want. But also don't be afraid to go for your ex if that's what you still want, okay? It's up to you. I can't tell you what to do, and I'm not going to tell you one option is better than the other because I just don't know. All right, that's only something that you can figure out. So that's why it's important to become really clear about what it is you're looking for here. And ask yourself, who have I become now? At some point, you manifested your ex the first time, not the other 3 times. At some point, you manifested him the first time, and he hit your buttons then. So what were those buttons? And maybe he's not hitting those anymore. Maybe this new guy's hitting them more or more of your buttons than the ex was. So ask yourself, who were you at the time that you attracted your ex the first time? And who have you become since then? How have you changed as a person since then? How have your preferences changed? How have your ideas about yourself changed? How have your ideas about your future changed and what it is that you want? Okay? All those things are important to consider when you take a look at the road that you've been on so far from the ex. All right, sorry guys, I smacked my microphone and then I accidentally turned it off. And I kept talking for about 5 minutes before I realized it wasn't on anymore. Okay. I forgot what the hell I was saying. But the point I'm trying to make here, to wrap this up real quick, get clear on what it is you want now because you've changed. You've changed since when the first time you manifested your ex. Not the other 3. You've changed since then. So, and your inner being understands that, and it's trying to get you to match. It's trying to match you with that, okay, with something that corresponds to that. But you need to become clear about that. Who have you become? What is it you want now out of a relationship? What does it mean to you now to be in a relationship, to date somebody? Okay, so make that list of things. Make the column. Compare the 2 if you want. Figure it out. Sit down with a notebook, figure out what it is that you want, who you've become, and that will be a clue for you. And you know what? Go ahead and date him. Date the new guy and go out with your ex too, and then, you know, that might be something that'll inform you and give you even more clarity, okay? But clarity is the thing now, because every time that you grow as a person, and every experience, every relationship changes you as a person. It influences you, it causes you to expand and grow. And often you'll have new preferences, new tastes when that happens, okay? So you have to always be assessing who you are now, who you are now, who you are now. This journey I've been on with this guy or this thing, what has that caused me to become now? Who has that caused me to become now? All right, and once you figure that out, it'll be easy to answer questions like, which one should I date? There'll be less confusion, okay? So I hope that answers your question. And, you know, leave me a comment down below if you like this video, if you have any other questions, or if you haven't subscribed yet. My mind is all over the place today, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Hit like if you like this video. Share it with anyone that you think might benefit from it. Thank you for all your donations. If you want to leave me a tip for this video or anything, you can leave me $1 or $2 down below. There's a Cash App link and a PayPal link, and I always appreciate that, guys. And thank you for everyone who does donate. It's very much appreciated. So thank you for that. On this day of thanks, I'm grateful for you guys. Really, I am. And this wonderful endeavor of doing this channel, you guys are also awesome. And all the comments and the compliments I get, I love it. I love you guys, and I'm grateful for you guys. So thank you very much for being here and giving me an opportunity to speak to you and to guide you as best as I can. Okay, guys? So with that, having said that, I wish you all the best. And in Hindi, if I'm not slaughtering it, happy manifesting and Ram Ram.